How are you doing? 2020 has been a crazy year, a very challenging year for many families, especially if you have a loved one with a developmental disability. And I just wanted to check in with all you caregivers out there. I'm Eric Gall, and I'm the founder of Empowering Ability. And in these short videos, I usually try and give some insights that I've learned from my family and or insights that I've learned with other families. But I just want to take these few minutes here just to check in with you and really just to see how you are doing because you know as families in 2020 we've really had some challenging times, right? We've lost what used to be in terms of community opportunities and experiences that our loved ones really enjoyed. Our loved one might have lost employment or education opportunities. We ourselves, as family members, as human beings, might have lost those same opportunities, employment, might have lost a business, and all of us have really had this maybe hole in terms of the belonging and relationships and physical contact that we all desire. And it's challenging, right? And for many caregivers and families that I'm talking to, there's this level of fatigue and just feeling really tired and trying to support our loved ones to have a meaningful day. And it can become really exhausting. And with the rise of the second wave of COVID and numbers really increasing around the world and around, I'm shooting this on Friday, November 13th, 2020. It's just seeing that is causing, many people's anxiety levels to rise. And, it's interesting. I was part of a conversation and a doctor was speaking, and, it's been a super challenging year for them. They had to shut down their business for 2 months, and they're seeing the stress come out in people in a huge increase in the number of cracked teeth and really ground down teeth, right? We're feeling that anxiety, we're feeling that stress, and we're taking it on. And I think it's even more amplified for caregivers and people who have a loved one with a developmental disability in their life. So I just want to take a few minutes and see how you're doing, right? And I want to talk about a few things that might be helpful or things to think about in this time, and to allow you to maybe have a little bit of a break as a caregiver. So what is it that we can do? And really there's this main thing that we really have to do first before getting anywhere. And it's asking for help, right? If we're feeling tired, low on energy, burnt out, or already burnt out, we really need to ask for some support, ask for some help. And it could be, like asking someone else in your household to pick up dinner or to take care of dinner tonight, or to spend time with your loved one so you can have that hour to yourself to, whatever that is, have a bath, watch your favorite show, read a book, whatever it is that helps you recharge a little bit, right? And it's really important to figure out who you can ask, right? It could be asking a neighbor or someone that lives outside of your home to pick up some groceries for you, to maybe help you with, maybe it's you need some help with yard work or something, that someone can pick up for you, right? And just making that ask. People understand, people are feel good when they help out as well, right? You're giving that person an opportunity to give, and giving feels good. So we can't feel bad about asking, especially when we need that help, when we need that support, right? And that can really help us as caregivers as we're feeling fatigued. And we can also think about, I think a challenge has been around the loss of supports for our loved one, which has increased demands on us as caregivers, as family members. So thinking about, this trade-off between I'm starting to become burnt out and the caregiver, or sorry, the paid support, right? And how do we balance that trade-off, and how do we manage that risk? So that's something that we need to be thinking about as family members. And with my family, with Sarah, we went down to one supporter. We went from 4 supporters down to 1 supporter, back up to 4 supporters. And now with that, it's really trying to manage, well, how can we, utilize PPE and protocols to manage the risk. And our loved ones, risk tolerance might be different, right? So we need to consider those. What's working for my family might not work for other families, and we each need to evaluate that risk. But if we're thinking about managing that risk, well, we need to think about those protocols and practices and PPE, but also we can think about, well, how could virtual support potentially work, where, a supporter could call in over the phone or use FaceTime to maybe guide or coach our loved one, or to help our loved one to make connections with other people in their network, to maybe make phone calls or force FaceTime or other things like that. So we want to maybe think about those different options. And, I get it. It's a really, really challenging time. I think it's even more challenging when we have that loved one with a developmental disability. And, one mother I heard talk about trying to just find a bit of space for herself. And she shared, even if it was just, if I can get 5 minutes, that makes a world of difference to me. So she would take these 5 minutes, and she couldn't, I was going to say escape, but she couldn't run away in her own home. So she found a place where she felt no one else would find her. And she hid in the closet for 5 minutes and sat in the darkness in peace and would just breathe, right? So maybe that's helpful for you. Just the 5 minutes alone with the door closed in your room, or somewhere in your home where you can get those 5 minutes just for yourself, right? So I'd love it if you shared what's working maybe for you in the comments. Share your experience in the comments. And remember, you're not alone. We're in this together. Many other families are going through the same experience as you. You're not alone. And I'm Eric Gall. Thank you for watching. And together, let's take a step forward.